Good morning, madam and all. Today I'll be talking about the topic students should plan their finance early. So this is the objective. My objective today is to persuade you guys to start planning your finance now. So this is the overview, and I would like you guys to focus on the reasons to start financial planning early. So as you can see here, I'll be talking about avoiding liabilities and also the idea of compound interest later. So I'm claiming credibility here because I have been exposed to this kind of topics from my father during the age of 10. And since then, we have been talking about this kind of ideas relating out to our personal finance control and this stuff uh, since the age of 15 years old. And so I can say that I have the I can present this to you guys. So are you familiar with these two photos here? Okay, it's the nasi bujang and Maggi mee curry. So what does it have to relate to my topic today? So have you seen your friends eating this kind of food during the end of the month? I have friends taking this kind of food 3 meals per day during the end of the month. So I asked them, why are you taking this kind of nutritious food for uh, low nutritious food? So what they told me is they are out of money. So apparently we have the similar income, but why I can manage to save my money and why they can't and they have to starve themselves. So are we going to live paycheck to paycheck in the future, or we are slaves to the money? So as students, what's the common thing about you and me? We are young, we are debt free. So compared to our parents, okay, sorry. By planning our finance early, we can avoid liabilities. Liability is something that will take money out from your pocket. So financially, what's the largest difference between us and our parents? They have huge liabilities. The house loan, the car loans, the family insurance, the food, our tuition fee, and etc. That's why they need to keep on working now to maintain the quality of life. Imagine today your parents lose your job, and then what is going to do with your family? The liability, the expenses is due there, and then your income cannot cover your expenses. How will you? What will you do? So for them, they cannot avoid it. But for us, we are why are we putting ourselves into liabilities now? So you may say that, oh, I'm not putting myself into liabilities, but is it? Think twice. Do you remember what you bought with your part-time money after you earn in after SPM? So for me and for most people, I think we are buying phone. I bought a Huawei and then I got into a monthly data plan of 28 ringgit. So this is how I put myself into liability. And then for some of my friends, they are buying iPhone for with installment plan, and then they are putting 128 ringgit of monthly data plan. So it sums up to be around 200 and something. So hey, this is liability. Why are you putting yourself into so much liability? And then some of us here even have Spotify and Netflix account. You may think that this subscription fee may be low for now, but when we add everything together, this sums up to be quite a large amount. So uh, you may say that there are liabilities we can't avoid. Yeah, I agree with you. There are liabilities that we can't avoid. In the future, we may need a car, and then instead of buying a BMW with 3,000 ringgit per month, that you need to pay 3,000 ringgit per month, why not we buy a Proton, which we need to spend about 700 per month? So save the 2,300 per month for investment. And then in 5 or 10 years time, you come back with the investment and the return rate to buy another BMW. Doesn't it sound better? You are not putting yourself into large liability in the start. Okay, next I'll be talking about the power of compound interest. This is Katie and Joe. Katie believes in investing early. So she started investing in the age of 25. she puts in 4,000 ringgit per month in her investment account, and then she stopped putting the model after age 34. So what she did is she used her model plus the interest she earned in the previous year for more investment. By assuming she has a return rate of 8% per year, she is getting around 700,000 of ringgit during the age of 65, which is enough for her retirement. For Joe, he thinks that he can start investing later. So he started investing at the age of 35. So he also puts in 4,000 ringgit per month after the age of 35, but this time he is adding until age of 65. So you can see that the total investment being put by Joe is higher than Katie, but he has a return rate lower than Katie. So this is the power of compound interest. Katie started early and then she win because she started early. Joe started later and he has to pay for the cost of delay. So in conclusion, why do we need to start planning our finance early? This is because we can avoid liabilities, and also with the power of compound interest, we can have higher return by starting now compared to others who started later. Imagine if you start growing your money now, and then you buy your luxuries later, with the return of investment, isn't it better instead of putting yourself into a situation where now you are not capable, but you are buying things on credit? Credit card, liabilities, and debt, these three things are making your financial life miserable later. So please avoid this. Okay, so with that, I end my presentation. And are you ready to start your financial planning now? So it's the question and answer session. Thank you.
We will now proceed with the Q&A session.
Hello.
Yes.
I have a question. How or maybe let's say, what is your recommendations on how to start my financial planning?
Oh, for your financial planning, right? Actually, different people have different preference of putting their money. So for me, I'm putting my money into stocks. Okay, because for stocks, it can be easily liquefied, in which we can take the money out anytime. Okay, so today I buy a company stock at 500 ringgit, let's say. Okay, tomorrow it becomes 450, but I have an emergency, so I can immediately sell it for 450 ringgit, and then I can take the 450 ringgit for my emergency. So this is what I did with how I control my finance. So other than that, I have put it inside the EPF. EPF, which is the retirement fund. Now, this is basically the two ways I control my finance for now.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Chan,
Yes, Pradeep.
you have talked about investing, right? But what if I don't have money?
Okay, you don't have money. So there's a rule here called Pay Yourself First by Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also The Richest Man in Babylon. So since the age of 10, right, every month I got my pocket money from my parents, I'll save about 20% of it in an individual account, and then I put inside investment later. I give the money to my dad, and then he will help me to do the investment. So you say it's hard to save, right? So what if you keep the money first? Let's put things this way lah. Just now I have the friend which is eating nasi bujang every month, and then he's starving himself after the 25th day. Right? So if he puts the money in an individual account for saving, the quality of life won't change much actually, because he will still spend, and then he will still starve in the 25th day. Oh yeah, he will still starve. But this time he is having he is having an saving inside the bank account. So why not? Yeah.
Alright.
So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Billy, I have a question.
Yes, Nishan.
So, in your opinion, right, is it good to save our money inside the bank?
Okay. For the bank. Okay, the interest rate for the bank, right? It's normally at 0.25 until 2.5% per annum. So the inflation rate of Malaysia is around 3.44% on average. So this means that the interest rate cannot cover the inflation rate. And then over the time, your money will be depreciated. And then I heard this from my father, right? So there's 1 acre of rubber estate in 40 years back, and then they are selling it at 300 ringgit. So today, if you are buying a real estate, a rubber estate for 1 acre, you need to spend around 15,000. So 315,000. You can see the difference, right? If you spend 300 ringgit that time buying a rubber estate, you'll be rich now. But this is how the inflation rate depreciate our value of money. Yeah. So if you want to save it in the bank, maybe you can save it inside the fixed deposit account. It will be higher than the inflation rate normally. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it's answered my question. Thank you, Billy.
Okay, thank you.
Time is up for the Q&A session. Thank you, Chan, for the presentation.
Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
Next